In this insightful conversation, join renowned entrepreneur and financial expert Robert Kiyosaki as he shares his unfiltered wisdom on navigating the ever-changing landscape of finance and entrepreneurship.
Most people. I took the opposite route. Since debt became money in 1971, I borrow my ass off. So my friends and I have become billionaires using debt. But it's like handling a handgun. You better be pretty good with debt, you know?
Yeah.
Because you make a mistake, the debt will kill you, the gun will kill you.
Yeah, well, it's challenging traditional thought, right?
Yes.
On what's valuable and what's not. So I think that's really interesting. You know, taking a look at the real estate market itself, you know, over the last few years, if you owned a home, it may have seemed like you won the lottery with the, incredible valuation. Some called it a bubble. Some called it a bubble. Now we're seeing a major downward movement and adjustment in pricing, especially in major metropolitan areas. However, based on your principles of cash flow, it looks like the concepts you teach regarding, properties and cash flow, they're recession-proof or market-proof because the demand for rent and rentals has gone up. So what are your thoughts, broad stroke thoughts, I guess, on what we've seen in the real estate market over the last few years and now post-pandemic? What are your short-term, maybe long-term predictions for the real estate market?
Well, real estate is regional, it's not international. So you could have a hot area, a bad area, whereas stocks would be hot across the world or not hot across the world. And that's that balloon back there is hanging on this balloon of debt. That's what's happening to it. So with real estate, you've really got to know what's going on in your area more than anything else. And I've been caught, I've lost money, made some bad purchases and all that, but the market always came back. My concern this time is it might not come back. So I could get caught, but thank God I've got a lot of Bitcoin and a lot of gold and silver to cover my mistakes. But if you're what I call in the Marine Corps, they were called FNGs. And if you jumped into real estate just because everybody else was getting rich 2 years ago, you might be the FNG, and we all get caught. So the problem I have with academics and school teachers is they tell you not to make mistakes. But how do you learn if you don't make mistakes? How does a baby learn to walk unless they fall down?
Yeah.
So for the young people, I say, look, be willing to make mistakes. Just don't lie about it. You make a mistake, say, hey, I effed up, I screwed up. How do I pay you back? What can I do? But this guy, SBF, Sam Beckman, fraud and all that, he's trying to cover it up and all this. And Mr. Wonderful's not saying anything. I'm going, why don't you guys admit it? Tom Brady, I don't know how much he lost, but they all got caught. It's not Bitcoin, it's fraud.
In the midst of this discussion, it's crucial to recognize that the ability to adapt and discern between risky ventures and sound investments is what sets successful entrepreneurs apart in any economic climate.
There is a difference. That's like saying, I lost $1 million on a gold mine. Well, was it the gold mine or you got cheated? And as for young people, I just say this and be willing to tell the truth. I screwed up. What's the price? Let me pay it back. I've paid back many mistakes.
Yeah, it's great advice. Great advice, Robert. I did want to ask you about this too, because right now the thought of actual home ownership for many seems like an impossibility for a lot, right? In your work, you do talk about the hypnosis of the system designed to enslave those who aren't financially literate. Go to school, get a job, get out of debt, save money, pay taxes. All that being said,
add 401k to it.
Yeah, exactly. Add that to it as well. Yeah. So, all that being said, is the classic definition of the American dream dead?
Now, there's going to be more opportunity now than ever before. I think we're going into a depression. Now, my thing is, I remember some of my other books, I flunked out of Sunday school also. I flunked everything. I went to a good school. I had nominations to Naval Academy and Merchant Marine Academy, and I went to Merchant Marine Academy. So I did do well in school. I flunked out of school, but I still graduated. But in Sunday school, one of the most important lessons I learned was my Sunday school teacher asked our class, I'm 7 years old, she goes, why were the wise men wise? And I raised my hand, I said, because they were rich. And she says, why do you say they were rich? I said, well, they came with frankincense, gold, and myrrh. I didn't know what frankincense and myrrh were, but I knew what gold was. And she goes, that's not the answer. I said, well, why were they rich? She says, they were always seeking the best teacher. So I'm not Christian, I'm not pumping religion and all this, But the beauty of what you and I are doing right now is your people listening to you have access to some of the best teachers in the world. So, you've got to, when you go on YouTube or whatever you guys do today, you got to ask, is this teacher for real or is he fake? And if you follow some of my podcasts, I've been known to get into fist fights almost with these so-called gurus, especially in real estate. I won't mention their names. But
why don't I mention it? Because we just had Grant Cardone on the show. How'd it go with Grant?
Well, I got into it with him. I wouldn't do what he says to do. It's the same as Dave Ramsey. I respect Dave Ramsey because his formula does work. But what Grant Cardone was saying, in my opinion, was high risk. You don't need to take that much of a risk. So there's a difference between real estate and, let's say, a stock. The word is called liquidity. So if I buy a bad piece of real estate, it's not liquid. I can't get out of it. It'll take you down like the Titanic. But if I buy, let's say, Tesla stock and I don't like it, I can sell it that night. So I can cut my losses early. So the difference between real estate and stocks or bonds is liquidity.
Robert Kiyosaki highlights the importance of seeking the best teachers in the world, emphasizing that access to valuable information is crucial. He also points out the distinction between real estate and stocks, focusing on liquidity as a key factor. Kiyosaki expresses his disagreement with high-risk strategies advocated by some gurus like Grant Cardone, suggesting that real estate investments can be less liquid and riskier compared to stocks.
So I got into it with Grant. I said, Jesus, somebody does what you do, they get caught with that thing that's not liquid and it starts to go down. That person is going to go down with the Titanic. And I also I get into it with Peter Schiff. Schiff's and I are good friends. And Harry Dent, Harry Dent's always recommending treasury bonds. And I said, I wouldn't touch this stuff. So I'm not saying I'm right, but I will tell you what I will do and I won't do. And that's what all you young people look for, a teacher that will tell you what they are doing, not what you should be doing. There's a very big difference. So if you think you should be in a 401k, then find a teacher who will tell you, get in a 401k. I wouldn't touch this stuff. It's like Wagyu cattle and semen. I'd rather have that than a 401k.
Well, there might be a uptick in people purchasing bull semen after the show.
There's an uptick in bull, if you know what I'm talking about too. So that's why be careful who you listen to on YouTube, including me and you.
100%, Robert. Interesting breakdown. I think it's, I've said it before too, and you're referencing it. You can literally be mentored by anyone you want these days. Anyone. Yeah. Because we have access now that we never had before. Speaking about the real estate industry itself, for sales professionals and brokers, I really loved your breakdown of the importance of being able to sell, right? You said sales equals income. And I think people in any service industry are going to have to sharpen their sales skills, especially as things get more difficult. So can you just touch on the importance of sales skills and why the ability to sell directly impacts your success?
Well, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you have to be able to sell. Okay, pure and simple. But you're going to be a librarian, you don't need the skill set. So when I talk to young entrepreneurs, I said, look, when I was getting out of the Marine Corps, my poor dad wanted me to go fly for United Airlines. Thank God I didn't, because I was a Marine pilot. You don't want me flying your passenger liner for you. And so I asked my rich dad, I said, I want to be an entrepreneur like you. And he says, then you have to learn how to sell. And in my family, my poor dad's family, salesmen were scum. So you notice in most academic families. So when my rich dad said, you have to learn how to sell, I had to go against my family's value. My mother says, why don't you become a doctor? Or why don't you become a lawyer? Then you don't have to sell. I said, well, that's true, but I want to be an entrepreneur. I don't want job security and all that stuff. And so that's why my rich dad prevailed. I said, but tell me, how can I be an entrepreneur without selling?
Robert Kiyosaki's candid advice on sales, entrepreneurship, and financial literacy serves as a valuable guide for anyone looking to thrive in today's dynamic world of wealth building and investment.